After nearly 7 decades in isolation, North Korea has earned its nickname as the Hermit Kingdom. North Korea locked down its already tight borders at the start of the coronavirus pandemic. Trade with China, its largest economic partner, plummeted more than 90% in 2021. And with recent COVID-19 outbreaks, North Korea has struggled to reverse course. But a war more than 7,000 kilometers away has its leader Kim Jong-un looking to rekindle a relationship with a country that has long gone cold. Russia.
North Korea is in a position in the world right now where it really does need to improve its ties with particularly big power patrons, and historically that has been China and Russia.
As the West and its allies levied sanctions against Russia over its invasion of Ukraine, Pyongyang offered its support in a speech before the United Nations.
The root cause of the Ukraine crisis totally lies in the hegemonic policy of the United States and the West.
Kim has reportedly exchanged personal letters with Russian President Vladimir Putin, affirming their friendship with a pledge to help fight unnamed hostile forces. What's behind North Korea's efforts to bolster ties with Russia? And what does that mean for the geopolitical tensions in East Asia? North Korea's ties with Russia go all the way back to the nation's formation, when the founder Kim Il-sung had the backing of the Soviet Union. But a few years after the armistice in 1953 suspended the Korean War, Kim Il-sung purged his Soviet-backed advisors. By the 1990s, friendly ties between North Korea and Russia were history.
So the economic relationship between Russia and North Korea are virtually non-existent. They stopped sponsoring North Korea. So North Korea was very, very dependent on foreign assistance. And during the Cold War, this foreign assistance was provided by both China and the Soviet Union. Now it's just China.
So, after years of chilly relations, what's changed?
Right now, Kim Jong-un, over the past 10 years, that since he's been in power, has really focused on two areas of development: nuclear weapons and economic development. I think over the past few years, especially in the era of COVID, it's really focused on the nuclear aspect and clamping down on borders. And so what that means is that North Korea hasn't been able to do the both legal and illegal cross-border trade with China. That's been historically a really important source of raw materials, consumer goods, other forms of labor, and even in order for North Koreans to earn currency and bring it back over the border. So since North Korea doesn't have that anymore, particularly in the era of COVID, it needs to look for other sources.
The partnership extends beyond renewed relations between Pyongyang and Moscow. North Korea has also officially recognized Russia's puppet states in Ukraine's Donbas region as legitimate government. North Korea has offered to send thousands of laborers to help rebuild cities in the Donbas, destroyed during the Russian invasion. Russia also purchased millions of artillery shells and rockets from North Korea as an effort to avoid its heavily sanctioned supply chain. It would not only deepen ties between Pyongyang and Moscow, but also offer a new source of foreign income for North Korea at a time when trade with China remains low. North Korea's international pariah status also works in its favor. Any nation that cooperates with Russian efforts to rebuild the Donbas region risks sanctions, a threat that means little to Pyongyang.
북한은 이미 제재를 최고 수준에서 받고 있기 때문에 더 이상 추가 제재가 어려운 상황이거든요. 또 추가 제재를 하려면 러시아의 동의가 필요하고 유엔 안보리에서. 그러니까 LPR과 DPR이 북한과 실질적인 협력을 한다 그러면 국제사회가 막을 수 있는 방법은 없는 상황이거든요. 돈바스 지역 채권에 북한 노동자가 가고 돈바스의 식량 자원과 산업 기반 시설을 북한이 활용을 한다 그러면은 서로 충분히 윈윈할 수 있는 거래가 되거든요.
Estimates suggest that North Korea used to earn between 200 and 500 million US dollars a year from foreign workers. Importantly, this money is paid directly to the Kim regime, not the workers themselves.
Certainly, North Korea in the past has used sending labor abroad as a way to get funds for the regime.
It's money Kim can spend on some big-ticket items, like North Korea's nuclear program. North Korea has launched more missiles in 2022 than ever before. Meanwhile, domestic messaging from the Kim regime is increasingly bombastic.
윤석열 정권과 그의 군대는 전면도할 것입니다.
Experts say a nuclear-armed North Korea isn't in the interest of anyone, including Russia.
그러니까 한국의 핵보유, 일본의 핵보유, 또 타이완의 핵보유를 자극할 수가 있고 이란은 물론이거니와 그러니까 북한의 핵보유는 핵 도미노를 불러일으키기 때문에 중국과 러시아에게 도움이 결코 되는 상황이 아니에요.
But as the war in Ukraine continues to send shockwaves across the globe, the hardening of alliances into opposing camps is another challenge to diplomacy in East Asia.
김정은은 중국과의 관계를 강화, 북중 관계 강화, 그다음에 북러 관계 강화를 도모하고 있고요. 즉 북중러 연대를 강화하는 시도를 하고 있고 여기 돈바스라고 하는 LPL과 DPL이라는 돌파구가 생긴 거죠. 김정은 입장에서는. 그러니까 향후에도 김정은은 북중러 연대를 강화할 것이다.
So certainly when Russia invaded Ukraine earlier this year, it was quite a tectonic shift in geopolitics worldwide. I think for many in East Asia, when it comes to the US security partnerships in the Asia Pacific, countries like South Korea and Japan, they're certainly going to be feeling these shifts.